Riverine premium beef for your unparalleled eating experience is produced from carefully selected prime quality cattle that are raised in the lush, temperate Riverine region of Australia. The cattle that meet the rigorous Riverine standard are grain fed for 100 days and graded under the Meat Standards Australia grading system to ensure the brand delivers on its eating quality promise. Okay, so what we've got here is an oyster blade. Probably one of the less common cuts used in Australian food, but oyster blade is part of the shoulder blade. It comes from up at the shoulder of the animal. Most people use it as a secondary cut or a non-primal. It's not quite the best dressing for it. It is quite a primal cut. Now, I'm just going to clean this down. What we've got here is actually a very popular cut in the United States. In the US they call it a flat iron steak, and it's actually one of their premium steaks. We don't often see it on restaurant menus in Australia, though I suspect after we make this dish it'll be a lot more popular. So we need to just take off this silver skin. If you're doing it at home, use a nice sharp boning knife or a vegetable knife. That needs to come off because as it cooks and attaches to the heat, it'll go brittle, and that's the whole piece there. Now, the reason this lovely cut of meat is called the oyster blade is quite simple. If I just cut that straight through the middle like that, in there you'll see it's got a little gelatinous piece in there which is called the oyster. In Australia that'll be sold as an oyster blade steak like that, and it's more of a stewing steak because we need to cook out this piece of sort of gelatin in the middle there. But what we're going to do is we're going to flash cook it for our Thai beef salad. So what I need to do is I just need to cut either side like so of this gelatinous oyster in the centre, and what that'll do is give it what we call a flat iron steak, just there like that, and then we'll cut down the other side of the other one there and we'll have a couple of them. But there we've got your oyster blade cut down into a lovely flat iron steak, and this has got the eating quality of very much of a primal piece of beef, so an A1 cut. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make the Thai beef salad. We're going to put a little bit of a marinade together for the beef. So I've got a little bit of palm sugar, which is a Thai staple. In there we're going to put some fresh ginger too. I'm just going to shave that on the microplane there. Whack that in there. I'm going to add a little bit of fresh lime and some sesame oil and fish sauce as well. Thai food's always got a lovely hot and sour flavour. A little bit of fish sauce, just a touch of sesame oil. I'm going to pop a little bit of garlic in there as well. In there for a few minutes and swim it around like so. And make sure I get all of the flavour into it, just like so. Get all that lovely garlic and ginger. And what the palm sugar will do, will help really crisp it up when we hit it in the pan. We've got some red onion here, which I'm just going to slice nice and finely. Got some rice vermicelli noodles, some thin rice noodles, which have just blanched off in some warm water. Quite similar to a Thai larb salad. We're just going to finely slice this kaffir lime leaf. Now that's going to give it a little bit of texture and a little bit of a crunch as we eat through it. And we all know that texture is very important in the dish. So whack that in your salad also. Let's slice a little bit of chilli through there as well now. I've got some peanuts as well. Now, when I'm using peanuts, I like to just give them a bit of a toast off. You can see the pan's quite hot there. And just roll them around in their sort of peanutty fattiness. You don't need to add any oil to it. And that'll just really open up the flavours of those peanuts. So toss those in there as well. Just going to add a few drops of oil. And we're going to grill those oyster blades off. really nice and hot. You could use your barbecue for this also, but you want to get a really nice charry colour on those. Now, what we've got in there is we've got the palm sugar, which is going to give it a really nice black, crispy finish and a really nice sort of barbecue texture. I'll just finish those off there. Looking away. As you can see, it's got that lovely sort of blackened, barbecuey sort of flavour, which will give it a certain amount of crunch and texture also. Now, one thing you never want to forget when you're cooking beef is it needs to rest. An oyster blade like this, you're going to need to let it rest for a couple of minutes. Reason being is it's full of muscle fibres, and when you cook them, especially hot like that, they're going to contract and get a bit tough. So what you need to do is just let them sit there and just relax. My leftover dressing in there, I'm just going to splash in the pan just to warm it through, and then pop it through my salad there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to toss the beef through this salad because I want the beef to be a real highlight to the dish. I'm just going to slice the oyster blade and put it over the top. Tip your salad so it's got a bit of height to it. Okay, so we've got our rested oyster blade there. I'm just going to slice that against the grain and just sit that up on top like that. Always when you're cooking with a superior product, you want that product to be the hero of the dish. So you don't want it to be buried under all those noodles. You want to sit up nice and proud there. Okay, there we've got our lovely Thai beef salad.